Like, so you know, it's like the drumsticks are great, but just give me the breast or the fillets with the back. I'm like, no, I've got a beard. I can't do that.
I have seen a video of someone that has the perfect way to do it. There's something to do with the breast thing that you sort of bend it and then pull it apart, and it comes apart in two perfect sort of bones that you can just suck the meat off of, and it's done. And it's literally like a 5-second job. It's like, you know,
it's like skinning a
almost clean bone that they put away. I don't know how they do it.
Because the thing is, it's like you get your drumstick and you go nom, nom, bone, and then you're done. It's happiness. But if you get the I don't know, the butt or the leg or the face or whatever it is of the chicken, and it's like nibble trying to get the bit that's not the bone, and with a beard you end up just with like a face full of chicken. It's not
I much prefer to go for the boneless version, so you can just shove it all in your mouth and not have to worry about it.
Well, I did ask them for a bucket of legs, and the first time they kind of grudgingly gave me a bucket of 10 legs, 10 drumsticks, which was great. The second time I just got a look. I had to order boneless bucket instead.
Told you, no.
Just
told you before.
Just go for chicken nuggets, and it's boneless. There's nothing in them. Just pop them in your mouth.
Popcorn chicken. I like the gravy there.
Chicken.
I'm new to KFC.
Hey, hang on a bit. They're here. They're here.
They're not here yet. It's fine.
We're talking about noms.
Yeah, well, live. Yeah. Good evening. Sorry, you caught us just as we're talking about KFC and deep fried chicken. And
because I'm new to KFC, it's all new to me.
It's Paul de Tomasio's fault. He said he ordered KFC for dinner, and we noticed, and we thought we'd talk about it.
It all went wrong from that point.
Well, good evening anyway, and welcome to Monday Night eModels live stream with me, Ted, him, Chris.
Hello.
The other one
side or the other.
Wherever they are, Foxx.
Hello.
Good
evening. You
evening.
can't do the joke because you don't know where what order
I don't know where they are.
Chris
anywhere.
Yeah.
Because on my screen, Chris is there, but he might be there on your screen, so I can't.
I'm there on mine. You're in the middle.
I'm on the end. I'm over here on the end.
No, I'm on the end. You're in the middle over there.
That's Ted.
And then Ted's all the way over there.
We always do that each week, but we never know whether they're over here or they're over here. So it's just something we do. So good evening, everybody. Welcome. Monday night. Monday night eModels. eModels.co.uk. It's our live stream time again. Well, it's not our live stream. It's your live stream. Your chance to chat, chill out, have fun, talk about anything from models to 80s TV and KFC buckets to whatever takes your fancy. You're the lead for us. So welcome. We'll see what it brings tonight. We've got mugs to give away, we've got stickers to give away, and we might have a prize to give away. But that's if we remember.
Yeah, there might be a prize if Ted remembers. So stay tuned, stay right to the end, because you never know when we might actually give that prize away.
Yes, you do. It'll be at the end, won't it?
Yeah, and you never know, of course. We always say you should always stay to the end, because you never know when one of the rare occasions that Pete Mate might be watching on his 75-inch kitchen television while he's sat at the little breakfast island having his pint of some expensive cocktail.
Be having the aperitifs before.
Yeah, aperitifs. Sometimes he sends Ted a little text saying, "Please give away this £200, whatever it is," which has actually happened in the past, I think.
Speaking of £200 giveaways, have you seen what eModels are giving away?
Tell them, Ted.
They're giving away the Titanic.
The entire Titanic, not the real one, obviously.
Not the real one. They'd have to go swimming. They provided with a diving suit, and you go and collect it. But they're giving away a Titanic. All you have to do is like the post on the eModels Facebook page, and you could win a Titanic, huge Titanic.
Yeah, it's the Trumpeter 1/200 scale. Is that the one?
1/200 scale.
It's got approximately all the photo etch in the world. It's the size of a house. And go to eModels Facebook page, which is facebook.com/eModels Ltd. I think it's that. It's either that or eModels UK. And there is a post on there somewhere with a picture of the Titanic, and it says like and comment, and you might win one. And they're going to give one away when they come in stock. So get your comment and give it a like.
Yeah, it's looks a lovely model.
Yes, says Ted, thinking about flesh tones.
Yes. I'm resisting.
Behave now, family friendly, Ted. Family friendly. Right, my usual spiel as always. We depend on our people in chat to keep us happy and to give us things to talk about. So if you are watching and you can't see the chat, the live typey chat, then you're not watching on YouTube. So you need to click on the little YouTube icon, which is down here in the bottom left-hand corner. and that will magically transport you to the YouTube page where you can do the typey and ask us questions and say things and give us things to talk about. If you want to win a sticker or a mug, you'll need to be in the live chat as well. So do come and join us. It's a great bunch of people. If you want to ask us a question and you can't join us at all in any way in the live chat, if you're on an iPad or a tablet or something like that, you can send a mail with a question to ted@emodels.co.uk. And I've got the email right open here. When I move across to that, there we go. On my iPad, we've all got the email open, so do feel free. And last of all, if you want to ask us a question, make sure you put it in big fat capital letters so we have a chance of seeing it, because we're very busy just being pretty on telly, and it's easy to miss the conversation because we're all old, so we'll miss half of it. So put it in big fat capitals if you can, the whole thing. If you want to, though, you can hit the $ at the bottom of the chat window, and that will do a super chat, which is a coloured box, which means we can have no chance at all of missing your question. Now, before I go anywhere, I'm going to remember this week, today in history.
I
need some music.
What happened this day in history, folks?
There's a good segue, Ted. I like that. This day in history, in the year 1708, Queen Anne withheld royal assent from the Scottish Militia Bill, the last time a British monarch vetoed legislation.
I have just checked, and yes, you were correct. It is facebook.com/eModels Ltd.
Good girl, I knew that.
I'm doing the background checking things like a good person. Michael Jackerman says, about time too. I'm not sure what that bit's about, but how do I enter? Not on Facebook. Get on Facebook.
Yeah, get on Facebook.
It's just for entering a competition every now and then.
Go around and see a friend that's on Facebook and get him to enter on your behalf.
Yeah.
And the thing is with Facebook, if you're worried about privacy and your data being shared, even if you're not on Facebook, Facebook has all your data, so I wouldn't worry about it.
And just don't share stuff on Facebook.
Just by being on Google, you're giving them the same data as you do on Facebook.
If you're not on Facebook, Google's got all your data, and if you're not on Facebook and Google got all your data, Facebook will have all your data anyway because they just get all your data regardless.
So yeah, you are being watched.
Yes, wherever you go, even that room in that outfit, it's always being watched. Michael Jackman says to you, Ted. He says, "Thanks, Ted, for the start aerial. He received it okay."
Yeah, good. Yeah, I found it and sent it out. Hopefully, it'll come in useful. I had no use for it, so
I need to send some bits out to Jamie Bone from the Italeri Truck Stop Kit. I haven't sent them out yet, Jamie, but I'm going to be going to the post office in the next day or two. So stay tuned.
That answers that question that he just asked.
Yeah.
Oh, did he ask that in chat?
He said, roughly when do you know when the 124th accessories will get to me, Fox?
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm going to be sending them out. I'm going to be popping to the post office. Yeah. The Foxx wheel is back on the road now, so I can drive and everything. So I should be going to the post office in the next few days.
Yeah, just got to find the bits and then get to the post office, which is
well, my car's working and I've had Patreon payday, so I'm happy now. I can go to the post office and spend money.
Speedy Q8 has a question for Foxx. As a drawery type person, why do some pencil sharpeners suck and break the lead just as you get a nice point?
It's about the blade. It's all about the blade. No rebels. It depends how cheap and crappy it is. If it's a rubbish little cheap plasticky thing, it might just knacker the blade.
Or is it that the lead might be broken already, but you don't know until you sharpen it down to that point?
Yeah, it could be. If you're banging the pencil on the table like drumsticks all the time, then it's going to be shattered. And that's your own damn fault.
I remember when I did my bit of a time in the drawing office, that was days before computers, when people actually drew things in the drawing office and had big easels and things, that if the draftsman dropped his pencil, he'd go and get another one because it would be all broken. So
was that the days before mechanical pencils, Ted?
Yeah, it was. It was actually the day when they were still drawing on blackboards and chalk.
Never liked mechanical pencils.
It was all slates. Yeah, mechanical pencils. Who invented them?
They have their uses. They're all right.
They're good for panel lining, but
they're not for drawing and proper stuff. But for just doing Sudokus and stuff, it's all right.
They're very good for Gundam panel lining on white plastic. If you're not painting your Gunpla.
Yeah.
Lord Barclay asks if someone is coming round at half time with the ice cream tray and a torch. Yes, there'll be sun-kissed Cura, king cones, and toffee poppets available at the interval.
Toffee poppets in the square wrappers. Yeah. That's cool.
Stephen Rolfe says he's actually speaking to Dad in the chat, but he says he's now watched the first season of The Orville, and it's great and not great, but his wife really likes it. Forget season 1. Season 2 is where it gets good. Season 2 is where it turns into Deep Space Nine almost, or next gen. So stick with it.
Yeah, I've caught up with season 2 now since we spoke the other week, and there are definitely a couple of episodes in there that wouldn't be out of place at all. In regular Trek.
Forget season 1. Season 1 is garbage. It's hot dumpster fire garbage. Season 2 is just like, this is Trek with a few jokes thrown in. It's like, oh.
Michael Jackman said he's going to enter by proxy on the wifey's account. Yeah, get her to subscribe to eModels.
That's the way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's how you can keep up to date with what we're up to and what eModels are selling and great offers they've got, things like that. So yeah, always get first to know.
Yeah, I mean, what is it's the 1/200 Titanic, and it's what, about 400 quid? 300 or 400
it
quid?
is, yeah. It's not a cheap kit. No.
It's like the equivalent of your U-boat, isn't it? But
yeah,
it's kind of prestige level.
It's about the same size. Yeah. On that note, we'll do what have we been doing this week? Have we been doing anything at all, Chris?
I have, in fact, indeed. I've been doing the MiGs. I've done a bit more. This is the shiny one, as you can tell, because it's shiny. I have, you won't be able to see because it's all 1/4 scale, it's tiny. I've painted and sorted out all the undercarriage bits, so they're all up and running. I've got the closey flap cover things all done in C1 again on the outside, so as if when they're closed it'll all be shiny. And this one is pretty much done now. It's pretty much good to go. There's a little bit of light weathering and stuff in the engine and things, but other than that, that's done. There are still the rockets and weapons and things to add to the bottom of them, but I'm sort of torn as to how many to put on and what to put on. There's a big selection in the box as to what you can use, and I don't know what to put on it. I sort of almost like it without any, because it's nice lines and, you know, shiny. So I'm still debating whether or not to do that on one of them or both of them or the other one. The other one is in much the same situation. All the bottom is all done. The top I need to do the camo paint job on. So that's next on my list of things to do, which should be hopefully tomorrow. I'm off work tomorrow, so I'm planning on getting some building done on that then. Other than that, personally, I've been doing the Terminator. I did subscribe to it, and they sent me the stuff. So I promised Foxx that I'd show you my finger.
Build a finger.
So there we go. I built a finger, a half-scale Terminator finger, which is, as far as I can tell, all metal and quite nice. And I've been playing with the faceplate. I've been polishing and shining and cutting away little bits so that the gum line looks better than it used to.
Did you lay that down so it's teeth up and you could put your probes in and things and talk to it? And
yeah, it's all done properly with proper dental equipment, and it isn't really at all. No.
Ask it where it's going for its holidays and things like that.
And
probes.
Yeah. So that's up to date with that, and waiting for the next delivery really with that. But other than that, I haven't got any other model things ongoing. When the MiGs are finished, I've got to start something else. So I don't know whether to go straight into another eModels build or to dig into my pile of stash and find something to do in the interim. I'll figure something out.
I like that phrase, the pile of stash.
A pile of stash, yeah.
Pile of stash.
It's actually in a wardrobe just over there behind the camera. So it's
yeah.
Yeah.
Foxx, what have you been doing? Anything?
I have been a little bit busy. I've not done any more on the U-boat. Not had a chance yet. That's I'm going to get back onto that this week. So that's still as it was, little squidgy U-boat. I've just been busy this week doing some other bits and bobs, some family stuff, and I've been trying to catch up with the Warhammer Conquest part work. I'm filming at the minute. I'm painting the Biologist Putrefier, which is issue 15. I've still got 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 23, 24, 25, and 26. I'm a bit behind. So,
I noticed that you were a little bit behind on that. By the way,
so I really need to catch up. Yeah, I'm trying to hammer through this at the minute, trying to catch up with it. But you know what? When you're filming a build, it takes a long time. What would take half an hour can take 2 days. So
I find that it's amazing how much time this building takes up.
I have as well spent a bit of time. I've kind of gone back to my childhood in a way. I've kind of gone back 20 years and regressed and fallen back in love with Halo. I've been playing a bit of the Halo Master Chief Collection on my Xbox in the evenings, and it's like, I've forgotten how much I loved Halo when I was 20 years younger.
Now that's a game that I do know my son has. So,
yes.
Yes.
So I'm playing through the original Halo Combat Evolved at the minute with the original graphics, of course, and the almost original sound effects and original music. So yeah, I'm reliving that 20-year ago youth.
We could get Ted together and do some Halo online.
What, get him smearing some grunts? Get him doing some co-op.
Yeah, you never know. Just have to find a moment when the sun's out and you guys are around and he's got Halo and things like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What? Never say never.
Mark does ask me in there, have I seen the mouth mod on the Terminator? I've done a bit of it. I've drilled up here's my old faceplate, which I have here, was flat across the bottom. So I've actually managed to drill some indentations to make it sort of not M-shaped, but that sort of thing. It's got the curve to the top. Like real teeth and real gums do.
Yeah.
I did find looking at the teeth when they were installed. I think that they're quite good. Anything that, because they look a bit too long, but of course half of it disappears under the mental process anyway. See, I watch bones. I know my facial parts, but the mastoid process. But they're just all too, because the real thing, obviously, they're individual teeth, but they're just all too neat and straight and all joined together, and it's like, it's a shame, really.
The teeth themselves come like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Two of those. So there's two front ones joined together each side, and 3 back ones. There's not enough teeth, but I'm still toying with the idea of putting in a couple of extras. There's a bit of room to put them in, and I've got some spares.
I mean, I know somewhere there'll be somebody that will go to the full effort of actually getting proper, like, artificial teeth, like denture teeth that are all, because like real teeth don't all fit together perfectly with no gaps. They have gaps, and if you look at the filming miniature, it's almost like real teeth because there's gaps, and someone somewhere.
Well, they thought that Arnold Schwarzenegger, obviously, who was the Terminator, has got quite a large gap between his 2 front teeth at the top. Yeah. And people are saying that we need to mod that to widen that, and it's all a little bit deep for me. I've with all of my model making, I've never been worried too much about absolute accuracy. I go more for the feel of the thing rather than the look of the thing. When I've done the dioramas of like Hoth and that, it's inspired by rather than a direct copy of any particular thing. So I feel the same with that. You're going to be able to tell, oh yeah, that's a Terminator. And that's
like we look at the teeth, are they, when you've got glowy eyes and it's pretty tall.
Well, unless it's a dentist. Yeah. Unless it's a dentist that does some modelling. Oh yeah, number 2 upper. Could be. As for me, once again, I forgot to upload photographs, but I've done the submarine. Yeah, see that? Yeah. Well, I haven't done it, but I've started weathering it.
I love that picture, Ted, because it because of the sort of forced focus with the door behind it, it looks about 18 feet long.
Yeah,
it looks like it's about 18 feet long.
It is 18 feet long. Yeah, it's a canoe. Yeah, so I've started weathering the submarine, and it's going together really well, and I'm quite pleased with it so far. But this is just one side. I've got the other side to get. So I haven't put any rust on it yet, and I'm not too sure how much rust. I'm not going to batter it up like we see a lot of submarines portrayed. But it'd be nice.
Is the other side the one with the clear panels on it?
The other side is a clear panel one. So I've only got a little bit to do on there, but I need to tone it down. Just the colours are too bright now on the other side.
I'm assuming all the weathering you're doing is with oils and enamels, so if you get any on the clear bits, you can just wipe it off.
Yeah, it's all. Yeah. Oils and enamels are just brilliant because they're so forgiving and they'll allow you to work until you're just right. If you don't like it, just take it off with a bit of thinners. I haven't clear coated it or anything. I've just gone straight on to the matte finish, just so the oil's going to grab and not just run off and things like that.
I love doing that. I love doing oils over just the bare acrylic paint. It just gives you such a nice sort of rough texture. It's nice.
It's going well. Yeah, the photographs don't do it justice, but once I get it sort of finished and up, I'll get my big camera out and I'll do some proper photos and selfie background and things like that. Maybe some green screening and do some sort of chroma key type.
Can you do the proper sub noises though, or do you have to get a recording of it? You do the boop,
boop, bing, bing.
On that note, because I'm doing my little U-boat thing, and I managed to find like an ASDIC noise, like the sound. But then when I was trying to find it, I actually saw a YouTube video of someone who was snorkeling in somewhere nice and tropical and warm, and we hate them because they were doing that. But they were looking down at coral, and somewhere in that part of the ocean was a US Navy submarine that was pinging, but it didn't go. It was like there's like twiddly noises. I'm like, that's rubbish.
Yeah, that's not
It sounded like somebody like just unlocking the car. It was horrible. It was like I know it's modern, not vintage, but
Yeah,
it's very disappointing. It sounded like a dolphin or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be the proper Hollywood sonar sound, hasn't it?
Yeah. I managed to find a good one at the end. So I was like, okay. We've got a couple of things come through on chat. Stephen Rolfe is saying he's just going full jealous on the Terminator. He wants it, but he can't get it yet in Spain.
Yeah, I think he commented that on my video. But yeah,
yeah, it's Hachette, and Hachette do have an office in Spain. So the Warhammer ones come out in Spain. It's usually a few months down the line though, so it's possible it may come out in Spain because Hachette work in the UK, Republic of Ireland, Australia, Germany, I think, some places in Europe and Spain. So yes. And Speedy Curate gets a vintage reference in because we're doing vintage stuff always. He says one of them used to advertise Typhoo. Oh wait, canoe, not GNU. So now I've got in my head is I'm a GNU.
I'm a GNU. How do you do?
Me and Ted and Chris remember that. Nobody else will. I'm dead, obviously.
And now there's some old people in chat. They'll remember it as well.
We're not going to name them because we'll just get slapped.
No.
Stephen Rolfe on the subject of submarine says Seaview. Yeah, I think they had the same special effects on that as they had on Star Trek. When the submarine used to get rocked by depth charges.
That Seaview, was it? What was the other one? Sequest DSV or something?
Oh, that was terrible.
That was the rubbish version.
That was terrible. I remember that because that had what's his face in it? Actor Mc.
Didn't it have a robot dolphin or something? Or
yeah, the one that was in Jaws. Was it him?
The one that was in Jaws.
The one that played the main character in Jaws.
What, the fish?
No, not the fish.
Not Jaws. Oh, right, sorry.
Not Jaws itself. No, the main character. What was his name? For some reason, I've got Ernest Borgnine going through my head.
Surely the main character in Jaws was Jaws.
Roy Schneider, that's it. Short and Child says.
Roy Schneider.
Yeah, Roy Schneider. And had him in it. And that was... I don't know. But all I know is that every time I go outside round up Manchester way, there's a freight company called DSV. And on the crates, it just says DSV. So.
Yeah, it used to be good. It used to be the same switch panel that blow up each week, and then they'd blow it out with CO2 fire extinguisher on a submarine. It's brilliant, and you could see out them beautiful windows at the front, so you can see where they're going.
Have you noticed though that in those old series like 1960s, 1970s, like Irwin Allen type stuff, whenever you get like a security guy or an engineer or like a mechanic, they're always called something like Kowalski or a variation of Kowalski.
Yeah.
Always got a Polish name.
Yeah,
I think it was Kowalski in Seaview, but there's always a mechanic called Kowalski somewhere.
Somebody that's maybe come across the pond into America to join the Navy and things like that.
The Bronx. Hey, Kowalski.
Yeah, it's like the red shirts in Star Trek, isn't it? You knew they weren't going to last long.
Yeah, they're probably all called Kowalski as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you were a cast member on Star Trek and you didn't get a name, you knew you weren't going to be around for very long.
Yeah. Beam down security team. Oh, the security team's dead, sir. Oh.
Surprise!
Send some more.
Colin at First 67 Workshop says, any news on when the Bandai Star Wars stuff will land in stock? No, because we don't know. As you know, we don't work for eModels themselves. They haven't told us. I don't know that they know, to be honest. They'll get it when they get it, I think.
It will be coming from Revell, though, and they do get regular shipments from Revell. So if you ever need to find out if something's going to be in stock or when it's coming in, just give them a call or drop them an email. I say we don't, because like Chris says, we don't work for them, so we don't have knowledge about it.
Yeah, that's going back to people on Facebook who haven't got Facebook or who haven't subscribed to eModels Facebook page. Usually that's the first place they'll tell everybody what's in stock. Or you can subscribe to the newsletter from the web page. You could subscribe to the newsletter and you'll get email notifications when new stuff's in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Star Wars stuff's going to be worthy of an email newsletter. So
yeah. I mean, they do get regular deliveries from Revell, but it's really down to when Revell get the stock from Bandai, because obviously they're working with Bandai to distribute it. So it's really when Revell have the stuff to give to yon fellas at eModels. But if you're ever unsure, just drop them an email. Ted at eModels. No, not Ted at eModels. That's the wrong one.
Yeah, don't no.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you can fill out the contact on the website. You can mail sales@emodels.co.uk. You can give them a call. Although don't call on a Monday because that's the worst day you can possibly call. They'll be happy to let you know when they're expecting them in stock. It's usually fairly quickly, so this is more just a case of when Revell has them to send to them, and they'll have them in a few days, I think.
There was one other thing during the week, actually. Now we're mentioning it. It was last week. It was Fox's What's in Store, wasn't it? We had the edible glue.
Yeah,
edible glue.
I've been down to my cupboard downstairs where my daughter had some edible glue.
Edible glue.
And I've got a pot. It's not the same one as eModels sell, I don't think. I don't remember. But I'm sure they're all going to be much the same. And I had some fun with some glue today, and I've done some gluing. I've got some Galaxy counters that I've glued together, look.
Before you do it, Chris, I'm just going to have to jump out and jump back in because my audio is freaking out. Give me 2 seconds before you kind of want to watch this. One second.
I shall put them down and wait quietly while.
Yeah, you've got to give us a full rundown on the edible glue, though. Yeah, is there an aroma? Does it?
I'm returned.
Have you returned and listening though?
Yeah, sometimes my audio freaks out. My microphone just picks up. Kind
of the glue itself doesn't really say very much, to be honest. It's I can't read it. I'll have to put my eyes on.
Stephen Rolfe says don't eat glue, but I don't know if Stephen saw the program last week.
It says Sugarcraft Essentials edible glue, a super strength, ready to use glue for cake decorating. Ingredients: water, preservative, something that's under the label, acetic acid, and carboxymethyl cellulose. I'm sure that's good for you. So I've glued three chocolate things together. So I'm sure it's fine. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
You're a brave man. Because the Spinny Q8 says this is where Chris is hoping his missus hasn't swapped it for super glue.
Yeah, I still say you should pour some into your extra thin, and then you could just lick
it. One day you forget. Yeah. Or if, like me, you've got like 4 bottles of it.
To be honest, it tastes like chocolate, but that was just all the chocolate. So I think we'll find out the.
Oh yeah, we're going for the is it live?
It smells like glue. Slightly worrying.
Look on Chris, Ted.
Yeah, I'll look it up, Chris.
Well, get some on my finger, and still smells like glue.
This can go one of 2 ways.
Yeah, that tastes pretty horrible. I think you need to use it on something that's nice, not fingers.
Do you think you could glue canopies with it or something like that?
No, it smells of something, but I can't. I don't know that it's triggering something in the memory centers, but it's not pleasant. No, I wouldn't advise using that as an edible calorie source or anything. And if you need to glue some cakes together, then it's probably fine. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't use it as a flavouring or a dip.
They're doing gluing cakes together.
So if you're constructing your confectionery Spitfire, it would be an idea.
It'll be perfect for that. But I wouldn't dip your chips in it for a matter of course. And the one eModels sell might be lovely. I think everyone should buy one and try it. Mm-hmm. But no.
Well, thank you for that taste test. So
my wife just popped in chat and she says he's had it before, as her youngest uses it with her cakes for birthdays. Yeah. So if you use it for its intended purpose, it's fine. Don't dip your finger in it.
Because the thing is, what you don't realise, Chris is sitting there and his brain wants him to sit there and go blah 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 for the next 2 hours, but he can't.
Next week I shall be reviewing gin.
And Anders says, would anyone be prepared and call an ambulance for Chris just in case?
Yeah.
Steve at Totally Scale Model says Chris will now get lockjaw.
Oh. Yeah. Well, that concludes the evening, the eModels Good Food Guide.
Oh,
Norman Long.
TK's in. He says cellulose is what keeps plants together, basically.
Yep.
Oh, and evening all. So it's made out of plants, so it can't be all bad, can it?
Yep. Mr. Loath says, well, Tylene Power carboxymethyl cellulose is also the binding agent in toothpaste, diet pills, and laxatives, which is probably where the unpleasant memory ties in.
Yeah, toothpaste's horrible.
Yeah, nobody likes toothpaste. Yes, Norman Long says you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, we do our best to entertain.
Oh, while I remember, quick announcement. We did receive an email today in the TED.eModels inbox. However, it had no title and no message. And all we know is it's an email from someone called Gary Gray. So, Gary Gray, if you sent us an email, there's no message in your email and no title, so we don't know what you're mailing us about. So you need to mail us again. If you meant to mail us, can you mail us again with an actual email?
So, Mr. Gray, just email.
Yep, so Gary Gray, send us another email because there was nothing in that one. It was blank as anything.
Blankety blank.
I shall now delete it. And can I just say, by the way, every time somebody says edible glue, for some reason it triggers the blankety blank music in my head. Edible glue, bum, bum.
Blankety blank.
Edible glue. I don't know why.
Edible glue, checkbook of glue.
Welcome to the terrifying wonders of how my brain works. Also, can I also point out that I'm really appreciating the fact that people, when they email us, are calling Ted El Ted.
El Ted.
You have to get that moustache going down now. You need a Zapata going on there.
Yeah.
You're secretly sad that they're not referring to you. Was it not Zorro? Was it? Or
Zorro. Yeah. Zorro is Wolf.
Yeah, I think you're secretly sad that they're not doing that.
No, sorry. Zorro is Fox and Lobo is Wolf.
Well, I'm thinking of a new image change. I'm thinking of getting rid of these and going for the contacts. Now I can't see a thing.
Make you look younger, Ted.
Yeah, I want to lose 20 years. That'll be, yeah. That's right.
The other way to lose 20 years is gin.
Yeah, that's put 20 years on me.
George Gabriel says, is it the Emperor's new email? You have to be super intelligent to see it, obviously.
Yes.
That might be it.
Clearly, obviously, it was full of words. All the big words, all the best words.
2 monocles, get 2 monocles, says Paul.
Yeah, you could put 2 monocles of work, good.
Yeah, good.
And then if you needed to see things a long way away, you could put them both in the same eye.
Yeah.
Now you see, technically, because the way my eyes work, I don't like not wearing glasses, but the way my eyes work is, you all know I've got a funky eye anyway. I've got a wonky eye, but this eye works normally. This eye doesn't work for anything. You can see it, it can't. The brain doesn't process it properly.
It's just
so my optician always says that if you lose this eye, you're fine. If you lose that eye, you're a bit knackered. So theoretically, this lens is just cosmetic to look like this one. I could get a monocle. I only need one lens, so I could actually have a monocle on that.
Yeah, that'll go well with a beard.
Yeah, I could be like, oh, hey, chaps, hello.
Yeah, Ginger, call it, check her in.
You said you need new glasses, so don't bother. Just snap the old ones in half.
There you go.
And there you go.
Well, no, because I still need to replace the lens.
Yeah, but you get new glasses as well, but you can try out the monocle with those.
See, when I get to Specsavers, I might say, right, I need some new glasses, but can my second free pair actually be a monocle? How awesome would that be?
It'd be cheaper for you because it's only half a pair, really.
I know. And then what I can do is I can put on a load of weight. I can get massive suits that don't fit me properly and talk about stars. Great.
Stefan Lass says the phrase edible glue works remarkably well with the theme tune from the Addams Family as well.
I hate that theme tune.
Oh, I've got the Addams Family now, yeah.
It does, but I hate the Addams Family.
I thought the Addams Family were brilliant. Mind you, I'm older than you, so I remember it sort of.
I don't know why. I just have a natural anathema to like the Addams Family and the Munsters and all those sort of 1960s. I don't know why. They rile me.
The Addams Family was better than the Munsters, I thought.
Like the Beverly Hillbillies and stuff. They just rile me. I don't know why.
Yeah, no need for them.
Yeah, and I know. I know all the words to the Beverly Hillbillies theme tune.
Go on then.
No,
just don't sing it because we'll get to the copyright.
It's going through my head. I promise you. Yes, I know the words.
Paul at TV Net says, Chris, now we know why he's so rubbish at Xbox. because I said I what because I've got a funky
Because you've only
eye.
got one eye or something, yeah.
No, I can see perfectly fine. The thing with me is I can't see in stereo. I don't have stereo vision.
Why are you so rubbish at Xbox then?
I'm not rubbish at
We're
Xbox.
using that as an
I'm fantastic
excuse
at Xbox.
for you. That was your out.
I think he's just slipping in the excuses now.
I'm not rubbish at Xbox. I'm just rubbish at forgetting that I'm stood on a ledge when you two guys are behind me, and I give you the benefit of the doubt every time, and then you push me off. So it's rubbish at trusting you, which is what I shouldn't do.
Yeah. So you know what to do now. If you're ever playing him on the Xbox, come around the blind side. We'll see you.
Yeah, you won't see you coming. That's right.
Yeah, try and somehow finagle me up onto a high ledge, which they do every single time, and I fall for it every time.
But we can now stay. If we stand on that side of you, we'll be all right. You won't be able to see us.
That's not how it works, dude.
Then up from the ground came up a bullying crude. Oil that is. Black gold.
Texas tea.
Michael Jackerman says Zorro is the name of our neighbour's cat.
So their cat is called Foxx. I like that. I approve of this. So people in chat, what have you guys been working on? What have we been up to? What have people in chat been up to? What's on your workbench right now? Tell us in the chat and we'll talk about that.
We'll wait quietly until you've...
Yeah, we're just waiting for you now.
Yeah, we'll wait here. Yeah, we'll just have a silence.
I haven't got the thing of how many people are watching, but there's got to be like 30 or 40 of you watching. All of you answer, and then
we'll just sit here and let you talk amongst yourselves. It's easy. Yeah, we'll have an easy night.
Yeah, we'll just sit here with fingers on lips.
Phil Lewis says dinosaurs. I'm not
Yes.
sure if that's what he's working on, or if he just thought he'd mention it.
This is correct. Dinosaurs is always correct.
Yeah. Why can't dinosaurs clap?
Go on.
Because they're dead.
I like that one. It's just obvious.
Okay. Nicholas C's got food.
The chat's moving now. Yes.
What food? Tell us more about the food.
Yeah, you can't just say food. If you've been in the chat for long enough now on enough episodes that you know if you say food, you've got to keep everybody happy and tell them what.
Yeah, and if you say sweets, you've got to say a particular sweet.
Yeah. It's like saying pizza and then not saying what's on the pizza. You have to explain. You can't just say food because the chat will eat you alive.
Pineapple.
The chat eat their own young, so you have to just give them what they
need. Steve at Totally Scale Models says he's working on his toe. He's got a poorly toe again. So yeah, hope you get better soon, Steve.
Yeah.
Best wishes for the foot and the toe. Andrew Leary says Tamia, I assume Tamia. Hello Mag, 135th. I don't know what Hello Mag is. Sounds tank like.
It's the big.
Yeah, it's a trackball bike.
It's the yeah. Is it? Yes, it's the motorbike with the tracks.
So not a tank then.
I was getting it confused with the Horch, which is the big truck.
Dad's got Matalan jackals on.
Yep. For those that don't know, that's Warhammer. That's Gene Stealers. Warhammer Gene Stealer cultists.
George Gabriel's got Zaku 2s. So many Zaku 2s in all the pinks.
Yes, that means you're doing Zaku beads.
Maybe he's doing more than one Zaku 2 by the sounds of it as well. So it's multiple beads of multiple beads.
Zaku beads.
Yeah, lovely. Anders is doing decals on his BF 109. Finally got them in place by the sounds of it. Yep. Carl making models, working on the Italy German motorcycle and car in 1/9. Car.
Car.
I was going to say.
I saw his photo on Instagram. It's massive because it's 1/9 scale. You could fit an actual one, not quite. That's 1/12 scale, but
the Hanomag is the half track. The Kettle Crad is the tracked motorbike. That's right. Michael Jackman says he's working on Oliver Hazard Perry class frigate, the long version. That's American bought.
Phil Lewis says he's doing a tricky Triceratops now.
A tricky Triceratops.
Try to say that lots of times.
Yeah. We missed a few here, I think, because it jumped. Hang on. Well, we've got a load of answers. It's great. This.
Paul doesn't have a workbench yet. Paul DeSpacio doesn't have a workbench yet.
Yeah.
Stephen Rolfe is still working on Lost in Space Robot B9.
We've missed some here. Zadster was working on it says on his workbench in about 18 months' time is a Belkit's Ford RS200 rally car. Real life, I assume. Toby Page has got a 148 NATO Falcon. Nice. Phil East is still working slowly on the Orcs and a perfect grade RX 178. RX 178.
RX.
I mean the RX 78. Or there's Mark II. Wayne Hayward's working on a Bandai speeder bike. Never Model Making is working on 2 bikes in a car.
Sounds like a film.
Yes, I think that's the bit we missed. I shall let you
Oh, yeah, don't have a workbench yet. Yeah, Lost in Space. There we go. Paul at 2 Nets working on a little HO scale building he was talking to you about before you went live. That was me. He was talking to me about, not you. He might have been talking to you.
I keep meaning to ask Paul, is he building these for a railway set or is it just a diorama?
He's just building them for the fun of building them, I think.
Oh, why not? Excellent.
Yeah, he started building a couple of HO scale buildings and enjoyed it. So he just carried on.
Yeah. I want to know why Phil Lewis's Triceratops is tricky.
Tricky Triceratops.
Simon D's experimenting with bicarbonate of soda and PVA for a Hoth diorama. That'd be interesting. Yeah, let us know how that works out.
How did I do soap on soap? Snow on. I did a little diorama. It was PVA glue and it was just some snow diorama, snow powder. It wasn't anything.
Yeah, my Hoth diorama I used I think Vallejo snow stuff.
I think the only thing to watch with bicarb is I could be wrong, but I think it can. It's either something like it goes yellow over time, or it can harbour tiny microorganisms that kind of bloom.
Yeah.
Is that one if you spill vinegar on it, it'll explode or something?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Or if you accidentally pour loads of Coke all over it, your whole room explodes. But then again, if he's putting the bicarb in PVA glue, then if there are many microorganisms in there, they're not going to survive.
Osric 9000 started a couple of 350 U-boats tonight. A couple.
Oh, wow.
Building them in pairs.
I've lost where you're up to now.
Zazda says, I say workbench, I have to move my keyboard aside to do anything. So he's obviously not doing anything quite at the moment. He's typing at the moment. TK says, finishing up on the Airfix C47 1/72 scale. Tore apart the Italeri Horsa. Need a new kit for that.
Adam Clark says, sad times, had to pack his modelling area up for house decorating and impending arrival of a small person. That's not sad times, that's happy times.
But I tell you something, I've got the workbench, but I've got a model on it at the moment that I can't put it on the workbench, and when it's on the table to do the other side, I can't turn it round. I have to walk round the table to do the other side.
You could turn the table round.
Yeah, so I have one of them spinny tables.
Gary Jessup is installing a new 7.1 surround system. Matt Badford has started scratch building a Federation pursuit ship from Blake 7 using parts from the Revell Saturn V, same as Chris built. Cool.
George Gabriel says the beads are the worst. For 3 kits, he's obviously building 3 Zaku 2s. He says that's easily 16 billion beads.
Yes. If anybody doesn't know, Zaku is a kind of it's a gumpler, and it comes with these little beads that go. It's like imagine having millions of little beads that you have to thread on a little spring, and they go everywhere every 5 minutes. However, if you'd like to find out, the Zaku 2s are in stock now at eModels.co.uk in the gumpler section.
And there's a video in the eModels channel of me building one. And
yes.
Someone else built one. What they did to Zaku? Was that
you did a Zaku? Yes,
I did a Zaku 2, and
Tim did not Tim. Simon did a Zaku as well.
Yeah, that was the Zaku 2, but a different version. He did the red one, I think.
Yes, he did Charles Zaku. George Gabriel says 178 is the Mark II. Yes, I remembered that afterwards. Thanks, George. Yes, it's a perfect grade. That's a nice kit. That the perfect grade Mark II. Nice.
Dave at Butcher That Model says he's painting a plague marine who's got more than a germ.
Phil Kett says, and we need more information on this, Phil Kett. Phil Kett says, still working on my Dalek diorama. You can't just take that and leave it hanging there. Share the information.
Remember, let's see some of these models that you finished in the gallery. What's supposed to be the gallery? Let's have a look at them.
Anders Eriksson says, tip for all, blue tack at the underside of bottles, like decal solution, to the desk, keeps you from knocking them over, and saves you a lot of cleaning. Yep, I've got 2 solutions. I have a thing that Dad in the chat, who's, Dad the mod made me, which is a little thing for holding jars and bottles. And until I had that, I also had a wooden placemat with a blob of blue tack on it. So if I had a bottle of something, I just spong it on there and it wouldn't fall over.
It sounds like he's discovered this from necessity. So,
Yeah,
how many bottles did you knock over? Or you?
We'll discover it by spilling something.
No, it's like glue. You always spill your glue. You either spill your glue and you lose it all, or you leave the top off overnight and you come back and there's none left.
Oh god, yeah, that's the worst. Or the
At least if you spilt your edible glue, you could lick it up and
That's
then
true.
probably be violently sick because it's not very nice.
But yeah, if you blue tack it to something less square or flat like a placemat, then you can't, because you still can't knock it over then because it's on a flat surface. So even better.
It sounds like a challenge.
Yes.
Paul Horner says, "Who mentioned decals? That 172nd Airfix Phantom one in excess of 160."
Wow.
Yeah.
On a 172nd model. Wow.
Yeah. Well,
okay, like that.
To keep you occupied.
Trotton Charles says he's finishing his Warhamster Dragon thing. I'm not sure which one that is, but it's a Warhammer thing. Could be one of many different things in Warhamster.
I actually have a confession to make. The other day, when the wife was in Kendal in a material shop, I happened to walk into a Warhammer store.
And what did you buy?
The guy approached me. "Hello, sir. How can I help you?" So I backed out slowly.
Did you say hello, sir? You appear to be lost.
Did you actually walk out the door going, "Ah"?
Oh no, you'll never take me alive.
Yeah. But if it had just been you and not you and Mrs. Ted, then you would have been there for about 2 hours.
I was just browsing, killing time, staying out the rain. "Hello, sir. How can I help you?" says this man who pops up from behind the desk. Nothing. No. You can't. No, I'm leaving. No.
You can't take me. You'll never take me alive.
Stephen Lass says he's just opened up Edward's 148th Westland Lysander Mark III Profi Pack, denubbing the cockpit parts.
Ooh,
been big, isn't it? 148 scale.
TK's asked me if will I build the 144th Anatov AN225. Maybe at some point. I don't know what it is.
It's going to be a big plane, I think.
It's going to be an plane, isn't it?
If it's an Antonov, it's Russian. It's probably 144th, so it's probably about 13 feet long. Because all the Russian planes are like the biggest things in the world.
Oh, pretty huge, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they should build them. Ivor, how big shall we build this? Big.
Paul says to TK, if that's the one I think it is, I'm planning to make him make it.
Yeah.
It's obviously really horrible then.
There's a lot of leverage pressure gets put on Chris from Paul. Gary Jessup says, I'm trying to rearrange my bench as I'm now in a wheelchair, so I've got to lower everything. Never think about things like that, but yeah, I suppose once you've got that sorted out, you're good to go, aren't you? So,
well, he could do a couple of things. Either put some ramps under his bench and have a run up, sit up on that, or it's being a wheelchair, you can clip the workbench to you and just take it with you.
Well, it depends if it's like a 6 foot long workbench. That's going to be a bugger getting through the door.
Yeah, it won't go through.
With a big stick.
Sorry to hear that, Gary, but yeah, I'm sure you'll adapt and get back into it.
Yeah, lop a bit off the legs on the table and drop it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Or like Ted says, put a ramp in and raise up their work area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do put in a platform, don't put carpet on it.
Why?
Well, if you drop your bit, then it's not going to be on a carpet, is it? Just
that's true. That's true. Logical. I like that. Logical.
There we go. Vincent and Mr. Loth's model making got some numbers that I don't know. T3476, 1941 mod on the bench. Almost ready for weathering. Also chipped away at the B1B last weekend, which is a very slow burner due to its size. I think it's about the same size as Ted's U-boat.
That'll be a 1976 T-34 Russian. No, it won't be a 1976. It's a 1941. The T-34 tank, Russian tank, World War II.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just reading that. Phil Kett. No, I'm going too far ahead.
Oh, he's jumped. I'm kind of trying to figure out where you two guys are now because I don't.
Yeah, I'm just below that now. Paul D. Tommaso, Dalek, exterminate. Yeah, hide behind the sofa, exterminate.
Yeah, Phil Kett says it's the Daleks in Manhattan FX kit, but he's trying to make a full diorama out of it.
Oh, okay, jolly good. Mm-hmm. Did we find out why that Triceratops was tricky?
I haven't seen that yet. No.
Vincent says, Mr. Lowe says, I like my 1930s and 40s military vehicles. That's all.
Anders Ericsson says, so right, Chris, one bottle of microset. That's what it took for him to actually come up with the idea of the blue tack and thing. One bottle of microset went flying over the bench, and yeah. You learn it quite quickly then, that's all right.
Funnily enough, when I learned to do it, I copied Ted, and it was just after I'd spilled a bottle of microsol. I was like, I must find a solution for this, and then Ted put a video up with him. Like, I'm stealing that idea.
Yeah, but I think microsol and set are bottles that are designed to be knocked over. I think that's probably how they sell it, because you use so very little of it, and it takes so long to get through a bottle.
Yeah, that must be it.
By getting knocked over. So
I think they deliberately design so one side is heavier than the otI side.
Yeah,
so they've got a tendency to fall over. Yeah,
they've got like anti-friction bottoms, if you pardon the expression. See, when I spilled my microsol, it was many years ago, in the days when you couldn't get it in the UK and you had to get it from the States. So when I got my bottle and I spilled it and it emptied out, and I had the biggest sad face you can imagine. And that's when I saw Ted's placemat with the blue tick. I'm like, I'm doing that.
Doing that now.
After my new bottle arrives in 6 weeks. Simon D says, did anyone see James May's Big Trouble in Model Britain?
Yeah, I saw it. It was quite good. Quite entertaining.
I didn't find the train model railways part of any interest. I enjoyed watching the guy making the plane for Airfix. That was quite good.
Yeah, it's that must be quite a good job. Quite stressful, because I think he's working to a time limit.
He had 2 months and he doesn't get paid.
Yeah,
he's just an enthusiast.
Several people shouting at me in chat to do the AN225. I don't like. Paul says, just say yes to building the AN225. And Osric says, build the Antonov, Chris. I don't know what it is. So
it's a big ass cargo plane. It's big enough that it just looks like a normal 1/72 plane. But a big 1/72 plane.
Yeah. Spid says, isn't the Antonov the huge one that was on the world's longest runway in Fast and Furious? Insert sequel number here. It was like Fast and Furious 83 or something. Yeah, that was the plane going down the runway, about to take off, and they had a big fight in and around the plane, and it took about 20 minutes. And the plane was on the runway moving. It wasn't just parked. It was moving down the runway, and they had the big fight inside it for about 20 minutes. Yeah.
What you need to do, Chris, is just do a quick Google search now and have a look.
I will. I'll have a look. I'll just answer my wife, and then I'll Google it myself. She says to Paul, if you want to come and help him sort the spare room where he's lots of models, then he may have room to make the one you're on about.
Oh, yeah, take it up on that. Yeah.
And Paul says, I'm happy to help as long as he doesn't offer to cook me dinner.
Wait, hang on. Wait a minute. Hang on. I wasn't really listening there, but is that basically carte blanche permission to convert the spare room into a model making room?
If I empty it first, yes, apparently. Maybe.
Yeah, we have it on the internet. We have it. We have a recording.
Yeah. I don't know. I just said I've got to empty. I've got to sort the spare room, and then I've got room to make that model. Apparently, I think it doesn't really. I don't think you can read it as being.
I think you've got permission now to knock through into the spare room.
Yeah, I think that's permission to make a second one, Dave. I think you're sorted, mate.
I'll leave you to catch up on that and be shouted at in a minute while I Google this AN225.
Just remember, Gemma's got an hour to come up with the shouting phrases, so it'll be well thought out by the time you come off the telly. That's what was people saying. Making models. Carla Making Models says, yes, I watched it and saw myself at Telford, so I'm infamous. The James May thing. Yes, it was amazing to like the guy that made the Hellcat. Basically, for those that didn't watch it, it was filmed, I think, last year, and it was when Airfix launched their 1/24th scale, was it? Hellcat?
Yeah, it was the Hellcat.
Yeah, the massive Hellcat. It's like that big. Wonderful, fantastic looking kit, but it was 2 months before it was due to be revealed at the Telford Model Show, and they basically said to this guy who they've used before, there's the kit, it's a test shot, so the instructions are kind of cobbled together. It might not all fit. You've got 2 months, off you go. He doesn't get paid, but he spent 2 months putting it together, trying to fit, because it's a test shot, so it won't be calibrated, and some of the parts won't properly fit. He had to make lots of adjustments, but he sort of worked on this thing for 2 months.
Yeah, and it began by the commercial director or whatever he was saying, if this Hellcat doesn't get released for Telford, it'd be a disaster.
Yeah, because the entire point of them being there was to unveil this thing that drops down, and they got the thing in a glass case, and here it is, and we're announcing this new kit, so it kind of needed to be there.
Yeah.
Right, the AN225 has a crew of 6. It is 84 meters long and 88.4 meters wingspan. So what's that in 144 scale? That would be
84 meters, 16, 240 odd feet long, which
275 feet.
Yeah, that's big for that's a third the length of the Titanic.
So calculator, 275 feet. Divide that by 144 is 1.9. So it's nearly 2 foot long.
Cool. Yeah, you need to do that, Chris.
That's not big.
That's smaller than my U-boat and a lot smaller than Ted's U-boat.
If you want to see big, you want to see that.
You've played plane and sub before.
Gemma, will you get a response from Gemma? She says, no, he's not making 2 rooms into 1, and lots of exclamation marks.
Yeah, she did say he can cook, though. Yeah, as long as
I can cook some things, yeah. As
long as it now involves edible glue.
Oh, Paul says he's legit happy to help with this conversion. Dave Cardboard says it's like your Starlifter, only with more engines. Yeah, that was about a foot long. So it's sort of twice the size of the Starlifter that I already did for eModels. So the trouble with we can't all be doing these big kits for eModels because they've got nowhere to keep them.
This is true.
When we take things back to eModels, they're just going to have to empty off like one of their big shelves.
Yeah, we'll just move these 5 doors out the way.
Yeah, I think we're on about them having to get another warehouse so they can get more models. I think they need another warehouse for us to put our big models in. We'll take them in.
Michael Jackerman says that Hellcat is going to be a massive seller. I can't wait to get mine. When's it actually come out? Is it already out?
They were saying they sold 5,000 the first month of release. So I think
it was like a pre-order, wasn't it?
Yeah, or is it on a pre-order? Is it on pre-order?
I think, but I'm not sure when it's actually out. Let me have a quick bit of research now. Hang on.
I don't think it's out yet because they say Telford they said it was for 2019, and that's we're already into month 3. Nicholas C says we all want to see it, Ted. Yeah, you can. Yeah, just keep your eyes on the eModels Facebook page, and I'll send some pictures over to them of where it gets up to. You can see it elsewhere on Facebook, but we'll talk about that.
According to Airfix, it's expected around about May.
Couple of months in.
Yeah, but it is a nice model, not my genre. It's a bit like the Typhoon. If it's as good as the Typhoon or better than Typhoon, you're on to win of that.
And as Ericsson says, is it the Hellcat tank or plane you're talking about? It's the plane. It's the aircraft carrier folding wing plane. 1/24th scale. 1/24th scale. That's the pilot is half as tall as an action man.
Zadster says May, so probably December.
Yes. Zadster said, yeah, depending on how many times the molders mess it up.
It did show the sort of behind the scenes working of Hornblower and sort of the railway and things, and how things had slipped and they were gradually being brought back into the running. However, it did also show that a lot of the previous historical moldings have been destroyed now, so there's some stuff out there that ain't ever coming back unless it's
I don't know if that was just for the railway stuff or whether it was just all their toolings, but what they were saying was basically they had like all these tools that cost like tens of thousands of pounds, and they just, under the previous management, who were apparently idiots, they just trashed a lot of them. So the new guy who came back to Airfix after leaving for about 10 years before, he came back and he was almost in tears. He's like, there's like a few shelves in this warehouse of all the tools. That's not even half of what we used to have. So I think what you're seeing at the minute is a lot of the old tooling is kind of all they've got. And then they're introducing the new ones slowly but surely. Because we do rib on Airfix a bit for having mostly old models and now launching new ones. But when you see that and you realise that's why. Yeah.
Still, it's probably making Airfix move forward rather than sort of back and relying on their old back catalogue. So
Yeah, they did say some things. There's some heartening things in that when they were talking there and saying it's kind of they kind of acknowledge that they're behind the curve on the quality of model kits.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of said, they didn't say it literally, but they were kind of you could see the impression was we know we're not anywhere near like Tamiya and Meng and all the other Tacom and everybody else that make these incredible kits. We're kind of behind the curve and we need to catch up. I think they are slowly with the big scale or the small scale aircraft and stuff. It's going to take them a long time though. Yeah,
it's not going to happen overnight, and they won't please everybody initially. Like they said on the program, everybody was, I want a 1/24 scale Vulcan or etc. But yeah, you won't always please everybody.
Yeah,
straight away.
Yeah, Digger Evans said, "Wow, trashing the tooling is a bad idea." Yeah, apparently the management before the current management were just like idiots. Because the guy that was there he was talking to was the guy that used to maintain the warehouse and the tools, and he was like, I had to destroy them, and I was the one that either made them or, monitored them and cared for them, and they just told us to throw them out.
Can you not have thrown them out into my garage or something? Or...
Yeah, I don't know how they did it. They may have melted them down. I suppose they were kind of crumbling.
There'll be a rare tool somewhere that somebody will have in the back of the shed, covered in an oily rag. And suddenly on the deathbed, they'll say, "There's an Airfix tool in this shed. Go and have a look for it."
Yeah, it'll be the old HO scale Flying Scotsman or something original. I mean, I'm not sure. We're saying all this, but it may have just been the model railway tools. I don't know which ones they were. It might have been all of them, because obviously it's Hornby Airfix Hornby, so it's Hornby as well as Airfix. So, but it's kind of nice to see that they kind of know they're a bit out of date and they need to catch up. And they have to catch up because it's the only real sort of UK model manufacturer left, really, proper mainstream. So
I think it goes back to nostalgia about something that we were talking about last week. Like most of the guys out there were brought up on Airfix. That's how we cut our teeth. Airfix. That was the only thing we knew. So yeah.
Let's have a look. There's more conversation between Paul and Gemma about the size of this spare room.
Yeah, I don't know what
it's all just gone wrong now, hasn't it, Chris? You regret all your decisions.
Stephen Rolfe says, "Chris, you're in trouble with your better half." Ha ha ha. Thanks. Zadster says, "I believe a lot of the molds were from Frog, were with Frog in France when Frog went bust." So that might have been it. Michael Jacobin says, "I remember the old tooling molds stacked in one of the warehouses at Charlton when I worked for Airfix in 1975.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good program. I was a little disappointed, like I say, purely for my own personal reason, because I have no interest in model railways. So I was kind of naive to expect it to be James May and not actually be half focused on model railways. Kind of naive of me. But yeah, the other side of it, because the other half was about the plastic model side of the business. And that was good. That was interesting to watch. They do seem like they've got decent management now who know what they're doing, and they kind of know they need to modernise. So fingers crossed, because it'd be nice to have a UK manufacturer back on the books doing good stuff.
So yeah, just before we move on, what's the guys out in Chatland think that Airfix should produce? Everybody was saying a Vulcan, but any other ideas briefly? Excuse me, what would you like to see Airfix bring out?
I don't know. I mean, could they get a popular franchise like Bandai got Star Wars, and is there a TV show or something that could make it more mainstream, a mainstream show that they can do kits for? That might bring them back to the.
It could do, but I get the impression that they're not kitted up to do fast turnaround. I think because they're still fairly small, and they've been rescued from bankruptcy a few times. So I think they need to get their infrastructure up, because it takes them a long time to come out with a new kit, and that's what they're starting to do. So I don't think they could suddenly take on a franchise and spool out a load of kits for a movie or something else that quick. I mean, hopefully one day it'd be nice. It's a good way for a manufacturer to get kits on the market, but then it can go horribly wrong, like you see with Revell. Some of their licensed properties are just absolutely terrible. So.
Yeah, I know Airfix are primarily aircraft manufacturers when it comes to Airfix kits. I would like to see them diversify, maybe do some armour, some British armour. But how long is a piece of string? Where do you stop?
Yeah.
Do you continue what you're good at, or do you diversify, go a different route, which may not work out for you?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, if you look at what Airfix are good at, it was well, FX Hornby, it was model railways and very bad models. That's what they're starting to come out of now and get away from being good at very bad models and actually getting good at very good models. Because I'll say just incompetence in previous management. A couple of comments. When we said what would people look forward to, Carl Maker Model says anything, as we know it's going to be new. And Trot and Charles says new tooling for Harrier GR Mark III.
Yeah, a couple of people said new tool for the 124th Spitfire.
Yep. Osric 9000 suggests a 124th P38 Lightning. 135th Dad's Army kit, says Jamie Bone. Make a Model says something. Yeah, I forgot about this. Carl says in the thing, they said the reason they managed to turn around the Hellcat project so quickly, because it was only like, they revealed it at the end of November last year and it's due out May this year. They said the only reason it's such a fast turnaround is because it was a shell project that they were able to get back out and crack on with again. So a lot of the work had already been done, apparently. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, apparently a lot of people are asking for the Tornado because that's just about to go out of service. So they're asking for a Gulf War Tornado. Which might be a possibility.
Yeah. Jimmy Bone says Ted Airfix are doing 135th armor kits this year.
Oh, I like to think so, then.
Do actually Airfix do a lot? They don't do a lot of the 135th, do they?
Well, I don't think they do. No, it's not a scale that they do.
I think it would be good if they moved away from the 172nd stuff for non-aircraft and started to branch out into smaller scale armor. That would be good, because nobody really does 172nd armor anymore. Not really. It's 135th and smaller now, or bigger.
I'll tell you what I did see, though, on that programme, and I don't know if Pete's watching. Did you see that hobby store that branched out and making their own models?
No, I didn't see that. What was that?
There was a hobby store, whatever it was, I can't remember the name of it, and I think they sold railway models rather than scale kits. They'd branched out and were actually producing or having produced their own range of railway engines.
Oh, cool. I mean, I can imagine there'll be some companies out there that do that. I wouldn't. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't like to be thinking that for plastic kits, though, because the cost of development for plastic kits is incredibly massive.
Yeah.
When you realise that just a simple tool, can be tens or even hundreds of thousands of pounds just for the tool. I remember watching many years. It was quite old, but it was a video about fine molds. And it went behind the scenes at Fine Molds. When for those who don't know Fine Molds, we might know them because they made some excellent Star Wars kits in the mid 2000s. But they also have a range of World War II vehicles and planes and armor and stuff. They're quite well known for it. And they used to be one of the top-notch manufacturers. But they're really tiny. They're not massive. There's like a small group of people, and there's a guy there designing a kit, and it's just one guy on a computer designing it in CAD with an old CRT monitor designing it away. And it's quite cute and like endearing. And they went to look at the tool for a small-scale battleship. They do a line of the Japanese World War II battleships, and it was, I guess, 1/350 scale. Something. It was quite a big. It was like the tool was like this big, and the narrator was like, "This is the tool for such and such. It's made out of bronze or whatever the metal was. It's worth about $300,000." Wow, that's just old. That's just for the tool. So you can imagine how much it costs just to make one model kit.
Yeah, then you have to hope that it's a popular kit. You take the chances it's going to be popular. People could like it. They're going to buy it. Then you need to recoup your money for $300,000.
Yeah, and with me saying that now, I can hear Pete Mate's wallet being welded shut. It's gone back in the pocket and it's been padlocked. It's gone. It's never going to happen.
Yeah, it's about that time again. Well,
oh yes, it's 10 o'clock of the 10 past.
Again, and it's Chris's turn for what's in store this week.
What's in store turn? Yes, I'm prepared.
Have you got your Chris, Ted?
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to look it on me yet. You've got to do your whole rotate and spin thing. I've been the wrong way around. So I don't
that's
know.
for Friday nights, Chris. That's a whole different thing. That's only when I'm in town on a Friday night. Yes, we're going to do the giveaway. We're going to ask you guys in chat.
We're not doing the giveaway.
No, we're not doing the giveaway. We're talking rubbish. We're going to do the watch in store, and at the end of it, there'll be a theme throughout the whole thing that me and Ted don't know because we haven't. Well, I don't know. Ted might know. I haven't figured it out yet. It's probably that simple, and I'm just an idiot. But There'll be a theme throughout the whole thing, and when Chris comes back after showing you what's in store, he will ask you what the theme is and say go, and the first person to get the theme in the chat will win a big eModel sticker that I haven't got to hand. Now, two things. First of all, remember, the chat doesn't work the way you think it does. We go off the chat that we see, which is the chat that YouTube has. When you type an answer and you press send, it appears instantly in your chat on your computer because it doesn't go anywhere. But in reality, what happens is your comment goes to YouTube and then goes in the real chat. So don't go off your chat. You might be first on the list, but in reality, you might not be the first one to answer. So there's sometimes a discrepancy. But to make sure there's no lag between the video and the audio, you need to, before we do it, you need to refresh your screen, hit the refresh button, and drag the slider across to the right-hand side. What do they do, Chris?
The other way.
Refresh screen and drag.
That's better, because otherwise they'll be back at the beginning again.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
So that way is the beginning, I think, and that way is the end.
Yeah, so do it now. Do it, refresh your screen, and drag the slider to the right-hand side so you're up to date. That way you'll be current. But yes, remember, say we see the chat differently to the way you guys see it, because we just see the way YouTube sees it. So there you go.
Go. Right. I'll lock it on you now, Chris.
On me now. I'll prepare to share the screen.
No pressure.
If I remember where the button is. There's a share screen button, isn't there, somewhere?
Yeah, I haven't a clue. I haven't a clue what the link is, so I've got to take part as well.
I shall.
Trotton Child says, "Do we need to wear drag and feel refreshed?" Whatever works for you.
It's different because I've got a second screen now. My computer's got two screens, and it hasn't got the same thing as doing the. It says application window, but it doesn't really mean it. Oh, it does. It does. I found it. I found out how to do it. It's all right. I was going to be sharing my entire screen. I could share either screen, but I won't now. I'll just share that one.
It does take a while to get used to two monitors.
And I shall click the button. So that should be now. Excuse me, I'm coughing. And I'm sharing.
I forgot to say, folks, by the way, don't answer now. Wait till Chris says go later, because if you answer in the chat now, we'll ignore you. We're not going to look at the answers till Chris comes back. So,
right. Hopefully, you can all see what I'm looking at now. I'm looking at the Dragon 135th Red Devils ×4 with a well bike and drop tube container.
Drop tube. I get drop.
Now that's right. Foxx has just been saying drop tube every day.
Yeah,
in Facebook chat, talking every time I say anything, it's a drop. I don't even know what a drop tube is, but
I'm assuming this is a drop tube. It's the only tube I can see in the picture.
Is it a tube with things in it that you have with you?
It's a tube of goodies that you used to throw out the back of an airplane.
It might be that over there. That might be a drop tube container.
What? So it's a tube of Smarties. Cool.
Big kebab. Tube, like the big ones you get at Christmas.
A kebab tube. That'd be full of goodies.
There you go. That's what the drop tube is. It's a tube that they drop things in.
This is a black tube
with a free bike that comes in the drop tube. Look, they'll never get the lid on that, will they?
Vincent says no, that's a Piat, Chris. I wouldn't drop that if I were you, because a Piat's a big man-portable grenade launcher.
No, it's obviously the bike that they're dropping.
Yes.
I assume the handlebars fold down, because otherwise it would break off when you try and close that up.
Yeah, Jimmy Bone says a laying figure has a Piat, a drop tube holds the bike.
So it's nice that people know what they're talking about when they do these things, isn't it?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the first thing we've got, the Red Devils. And the second thing we have is a pair of Italeri 120mm flat nose pliers. Always useful for picking stuff up and bending things, and you can bend photo etch with them if you're careful.
That's how I used to start bending my photo etch. Just a pair of flat nose pliers.
I was rubbish. I just got a pair of pliers out of the tool drawer and just big fat ass building pliers. It didn't end well.
Yeah, it's always nice to use the proper tools
for the job. Is the lesson I learned.
So there we have. Yep, that's the second thing. Nice and quick. Right, not much to tell you about those really. They're pliers. They're 120mm.
And a flat pink colour. I approve of this.
They're very pink. Yeah, I don't know if they might not be pink. The colour might not be. It might be, but it might not be.
May or may not match the marketing.
Other colours may be available.
Other colours may be available. And the third thing this week is the AK Interactive Kits, 148th, MiG-21, PFM Days of Glory limited edition. I don't know what the PFM is, but the MiG-21, I think I'm doing the MiG-21. I think that's the little ones that I'm doing. I recognise these little bits with a bendy thing on them.
Bendy thing. Is that a proper technical term there, Chris?
Yeah, people in chat like it when I use the technical terms for things. So,
like when I talked about the Bismarck, I said it was the front pointy bit.
Yeah.
The front bit, the sharp bit, and the blunt bit.
That's nicely weathered, that one, actually. That's been sitting there for a while.
It's interesting to see AK Interactive doing the same thing that MIG's been doing for a while, which is have kits associated with their paints and products. Unless this is actually AK Interactive making the kit, I don't know. Maybe it is. I'm not sure.
Probably just licensing it. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Yeah,
because I know Ammo did the load kits. It was Meng, I think, and Ammo. So the label is Ammo. That's interesting. That's a nice 48th.
Limited edition release of an abandoned MiG-21. So it's actually designed to be created as an abandoned one, sitting there and like that.
Cool. I like the idea of that.
I didn't notice that when I picked it, but I like it even more now.
Cool. That'll be your next build then, Chris.
My next build, another MiG. Yeah, no.
MiG through the scales.
So there we go. That's the three things. My fourth thing is Red Box 172nd, British Royal Marines Light Infantry. Now, Ted was complaining that he doesn't remember the Royal Marines having uniforms like that, but then he found out that they did.
Yeah, it was in India in the Boxer Rebellion in 1900s.
Boxer Rebellion.
Because I always thought the Royal Marines were red jackets, but obviously they did change.
I love the exceptionally amateurish art on the box. It's very charming. I quite like it.
There's 48 figures with 12 poses.
Cool.
So and they all have the same face.
They've all got epic moustache action going on. But it's kind of like pencil crayon and watercolor, and it's dead charming.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the box joins up with another box, whoever they were fighting, because it looks like they sort of started painting them in. So I reckon they might be able to get the opposition army and put it next to
guys. They'll be the Americans.
Yeah. Maybe the printing was just off a little bit.
Yeah, but wherever that battle was fought, they had some very good lawn management going on. The grass is delightfully well managed.
Somebody's front garden, that is.
Yeah. Be on the croquet lawn.
Oh, yeah. Vincent at Mr. Loath clarifies on the AK thing. He says they've been doing it for a while. Meng Paint Kits is AK rebranded. Ammo followed suit under their own name off after with Tacom. AK is now doing it as well under their own brand.
Cool.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, on a side note, apparently Meng is correctly pronounced Mung.
Mung.
But if we said Mung, nobody would know what we're talking about. So
yeah.
I stand corrected. Norman Long said the Boxer Rebellion was China, not India. Yes, correct. Yes, it was
sounds
China.
Like China. Yeah.
Yep.
I could have told you that if I'd seen it said Boxer Rebellion. I couldn't see that.
Yeah. After I looked at all the pictures of Chinese people and things, yes, it was China.
It gives it away a bit. Yep.
Yeah. Zasta says all of them with the standard issue moustache. Well, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came with the boots and the gun. Yeah.
I can't. Now remind me on my history, because I could be wrong, but wasn't the Boxer Rebellion one of those sort of black marks on British military history that we don't like to talk about? I could be wrong. Isn't it one of those things?
I don't recall.
It really wasn't one of our finest hours because we weren't really the good guys. I think.
Quite possibly. We were quite often not the good guys in a lot of these things, were we? But yeah. Right, the next thing, number 5, is Fox's favourite.
Yes!
The Lindbergh 1-to-1 nose mouth kit.
Oh no!
You get a nose and a mouth.
Yes, I love Lindbergh just for the fact that they make the most ridiculously awesome kits of just weirdest stuff.
Like life size, you can get some teeth in there. Look, there's teeth.
The thing is,
not good teeth.
Have you got the entire face that you can paint, or is it just?
The other side might be a face. I don't know. Ideal for study and school science projects. Apparently, it says.
Zadster says, "Yay, bonkers medical cutaway kits." Yeah, it's not quite the human tooth, but 8-to-1 scale.
Yeah, it's the nose to mouth 1-to-1. You can't go far wrong, can you?
Yeah, well, you've got to put like a bit of cheeseburger in there as well. Make your own bit of food debris.
Well, I'm sure they do the esophagus kit that you can add it onto next time. Yeah.
You could probably buy the whole series and build a whole body, half a body.
Can I just ask the question? When was the last time you genuinely had reason to say the word esophagus?
I say it all the time, don't you?
No, not really. Not
One of my favourite words, esophagus.
Dave Cardboard, it's about time we had some more body parts.
It's been too long. I know. We apologise. We'll work harder to bring them back in more often.
Yeah. Sadly, we've not had a restock on the half horse, and that's a real sad moment.
Mhm.
But the moment we get some more of the half, they get some more of the half horse in stock.
We'll find out. I'm sure that'll be in the email as well.
Yeah, James mate and Pete mate, if you get more of the half horse in stock, do let me, Ted and Chris know straight away.
Right, the final thing in this week's What's in Store.
Hang on, before you do it, Chris.
I did it. I'll go back. I won't do it. Nobody knows. It's fine.
Osric 9000 is a valid question. Very important. What weathering products would you use on that?
Mainly food, I think.
Slime green.
Yeah. Just get a bit of hamburger or kebab and rub it around the inside of the mouth.
Yeah. Well, if you turn it round, though, is it flesh tones? Is it? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Do you get like an entire head?
Yeah. Is it half a head?
History doesn't relate. We're not sure. It's made proudly in the USA.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they probably spell things differently to us. So esophagus might be spelled differently.
I'm pretty sure they spell nose and mouth the same though, so you're okay there. Right, and the final thing this week is another plane, the Edward 172nd longest day dual combo. So that means there's 2 in there.
Oh,
what 2 do we get?
They'll both be exactly the same, but they'll be designed to be painted up in different ways.
Oh, okay.
That's I didn't know these dual combo kits worked previously. So yeah, you get 2 identical sprues, but painting instructions and decals for how to do them in different formats.
Cool. Because I didn't know if it was like because I only saw it briefly when you put the list up for us earlier on. It was like, is that a Spit and a Messerschmitt or?
No, don't. It'd be two Spitfires and I say different the dual combo packs. The MiGs that I'm doing is a dual combo pack.
Does it say on the blurb what the 2 options are? Or
6 decal options.
Ooh. So not just 2.
So well, there's only 2 in the kit, but it comes with options for making 6.
Yeah. That's fine.
PE parts pre-painted.
Oh.
Painting masks, but no resin parts, so you're okay there as well.
Cool.
So yeah. Yeah.
What scale was that?
172nd.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah.
That's good. You get that then? 2 Spits for 2
it looks like, it looks similar to the MiGs that I'm doing in it, that you get cockpit options, so you can have open or closed. By the looks of it, that's why they give you so many.
Yeah, look at that tiny sheet of photo etch. That must be tiny.
2 of them for things. That would be the masking sheet, as I found in this one. So yeah, Edward do some nice kits.
Masking sheet. Oh, sorry, I was wrong. It's a masking sheet.
That would be masking. That looks like the photo etch because it says the photo etch is painted.
Ah, right.
Interesting.
So you don't have to do anything with it.
I didn't even know you could get painted photo etch.
You get pre-painted photo etch. So just fold it and stick it in.
Yeah, fold it and stick it.
Slap it in.
Slap it in.
That's all 6 of this week's What's in Store. I'm just about to come back. It's sort of themed for sort of now. Although it is UK themed rather than worldwide. So I'm going to stop sharing and come back to me.
Yeah. Don't forget anything that you've seen in What's in Store tonight. We don't know how many are in stock, so slap it in your basket.
Slap it in your basket, indeed.
Remember, if you want one, until you've paid for it, it's not yours. Somebody else can take it. So get it bought and paid for before the end of the show.
Absolutely. So now we're back with me. I've done the What's in Store. So what was the theme? Go now. Go quick. Go.
I haven't a clue.
I've got a clue at all.
I don't know. I think you're rubbish.
Well, we are rubbish, but
I'm sure they'll get it.
Crufts.
And Mark is right in there. Mark Ledbetter with Red Nose Day.
Right. You said Friday. Yeah, you said Friday.
Red Nose Day is on Friday in the UK.
Oh, is it?
November.
I thought Children in Need was like November time.
So Mark, send an email to Ted at eModels.co.uk, and
hang on, what's Royal Marines got to do with Red Nose Day?
Shall I go back to him?
Yeah, we might to clarify some of that.
Yeah.
Screen share again.
No, obviously maybe not on the red.
I'll go back through.
Red jackets, but they weren't red jackets. They were red jackets, were they?
No, they were blue jackets.
Shall we start at the beginning, shall we? Red Devils.
Red, yeah.
Red.
I get that one now. Yeah.
Nose.
No.
Right.
Day.
Okay.
Red.
Red.
Nah.
Red box. The manufacturers. Red.
Yeah, red.
And nose.
Nose.
And day. There you go.
That's awful.
Red nose day. Red nose day. It's red nose day.
Chris
Everyone
is like the most obvious ones, but I never get them. Chris really are like the answers in the name kind of thing.
Yeah.
Stephen, please explain to a Swede what Red Nose Day is.
It's comic relief is the other word they use for it, but I couldn't find anything like comic relief. But in model kits, it was somewhat tricky. It's a charity thing.
Yeah, Team Inept says it's a televised charity thing.
Yeah. So people got it. There we go. Sorted. You'd have to wait a few more weeks till you come back to me again. Next week will be Ted. Yeah, it's Ted's turn next week.
Oh, it's not me again, is it?
It's Ted's turn again next week, so it'll be a nice, easy one. It'll be like the colour purple or something. And
yeah, I think there's something between now and then. Yeah, I will be here next week. I've got a new job, but I'll be here next week. Yeah,
tell us about your new job, Ted.
Oh yeah, I kept it secret. I didn't know about it last week, but I kept it secret till I had official. Yeah, I'm now have a new job. I won't be working on the steamers on Windermere anymore, but I'm still working with boats. I'm joining a brand new project that's about to open at the end of the month. Windermere Jetty, it's called. If you Google Windermere Jetty, tell you all about it. It's a museum of boats, steam and stories. It's been a huge development on the shores of Lake Windermere, formerly the Steamboat Museum. So I'll be going there to work as the estate's assistant, fixing things, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's nice hours, daytime work, no nights or anything like late working, and it involves working with boats. So that's
hopefully no massive physical labour, like tying up a boat or anything like that.
No. So
I've just been looking through the comments that were coming in while I was doing the thing. I see Osric 9000 said eModels have a half skull and brain in stock.
Ooh,
I didn't know that. I don't know why that would excite me, but I did.
Could be my next eModels build then. Half a brain. I could do with half a brain.
Well, yeah, just add to our team, wouldn't it? Be one of our team members.
Yeah, what was that program where they had what was that film where they had a brain in a glass case?
I think they might be overqualified.
Ted, this question for you. Mark asks, Ted, is Lady Alice still on Windermere?
I don't know.
I assume the boat, not the person.
I don't know. I don't know if it's one of the boats in the museum. It's a historic boat. It might be there. Back Jackman said, no, it's not the blue. No, it's not the Bluebird. That's on Coniston or connecting with Coniston. There's no U-boats, not yet. Not till it. Yeah, never know.
Yeah, Ted might get his influence going.
Yeah. Oh look, what happened to brought with me today. Yeah.
Oh look, it's what we need.
Zadster says they've got a 5 Senses kit in stock too. I think after we do a Lindbergh thing in What's in Store, all of the Lindbergh kits get a boost in sales.
Yeah, basically, like we featured the half a horse sold out. We featured the tooth. Believe it or not, the tooth sold out.
Yeah. So if you want a half a face, yeah, slap it in your basket.
Yeah, slap it in your basket.
Dave Cobble says it was the Man with Two Brains with Steve Martin.
No, I think it was an older one than that. It might have been a Doctor Who series or something.
The Man with Two Brains was made to look like an older one, so you may have maybe remembering it.
Yeah, but I just might be my brain's getting old. It could be.
Talking about Aurak. Someone mentioned Aurak. I couldn't see where it came up.
Andrew Leary says, "Was that Aurak from Blake 7?"
Oh, by the way, who won the theme?
Person thingy that did.
Yeah, the person that's going to send me an email.
I asked them to email us.
So whoever it was, because I've already forgotten. Sorry. You won yourself a big sticker. So send a mail to ted@emodels.co.uk. Your name and address and say you want a big sticker.
Digger Evans says he can stay till the end. Only 2 more ewes to lamb now.
Oh, nice one. Yeah. How's it gone, Digger Evans? Have you had a successful lambing?
Yeah.
You've had a successful lambing.
Hopefully not too many late nights where they all...
Have you actually slept since last week at all? Or has it just been lots and lots of coffee and other farming beverages?
Anyways, that just says that Doctor Who had an entire head in a big jar of liquid.
Yeah, and then Troughton Chard steps up a notch and says, brains in jars are in 2 Doctor Who's. The Keys of Marines with William Hartnell and The Brain of Morbius with Tom Baker.
So I do have seen a brain in a jar somewhere.
There's also Futurama, which had all the American presidents were brains in
That was entire heads in jars. That was
near enough. Like Richard Nixon. There is no whitewash in the White House.
And everybody knows it was Mark that won. Yeah,
Richard Nixon.
Nick Gorlov says, all hi from Nightlife Moscow.
Ooh, hi Nick.
Oh, hi.
Welcome.
Digger said it's been quite good, been lots of coffee and only a couple of lambs needed bottle feeding.
Oh, but was feeding the bottle lambs adorable to anybody who wasn't actually involved in staying up for 5 days? Did you always have the footage of like somebody bottle feeding the lamb? It's always adorable, but then you think, yeah, but you've been awake for like 6 days and you're knackered and you're fed up.
That's footage of them doing it. Looks adorable, but it was 3 o'clock in the morning.
So it looks like he's got all his lambs. That's good though. That's good. Jolly good.
Fantastic Journey, episode 2 and 3, City of Atlantium was controlled by a red brain in a jar.
Red brain in a jar.
Yeah, it was probably a Doctor Who series or something like that I'd seen it on with. A brain in a jar, controlling things.
It's kind of an old trope. It's kind of a well-worn trope, though, isn't it? Brain in a jar.
Yeah. Don't
get me started on Professor Nick Bostrom and his entire idea of a simulated universe. That's a whole different conversation for a different time. Yep, Digger Evans says it's never adorable, only in pictures. Haha.
Lots of people come around. Come see the lambs. Yeah. Pet the lambs.
Trot Charge off. So right, my relief is in. So off home night all. By the way, 42 Dunkelgerb, cheese, onion, etc., etc.
It might have won all the stickers already. Here you go.
Well done, yeah. Cool.
Yep. Vincent at Mr. Lowe's Model Making says, Fox, when I hear Nixon and Futurama, I instantly hear him shouting, Nixon's back! I can't do Nixon without sounding like an elite. Arbiter! Can't do it. And I don't know why, but the tradition for doing a Nixon impression is to go, I don't know why that's the thing, but it is.
I don't know. Did he do that?
There's
is that what he did? Matt Bradford says, what about a mug? Yeah, we'll be doing mug and sticker giveaways momentarily. And Jamie Bone says, pineapple on pizza. I don't know why you would say that. Why would you even... No.
You should always have pineapple on pizza.
No.
It's correct.
No. CK says no, and Andrew Leary says pineapple on pizza is wrong.
Pineapple is nice. Pizza is nice. Combine them.
Yeah, pineapple is just an 80s thing. And if you're into 80s things like we are, there's nothing wrong with it.
I don't know that pineapple's a real thing anymore, though, is it? I don't think it exists anymore, does it? Do they not go extinct?
It's like when you go in a restaurant these days and say, can I have a gammon, please? Can I have gammon, chips and pineapple? Don't do pineapple, sir. Why not? It's not the 80s, you know.
See, no matter what reason anybody puts that you shouldn't put pineapple on pizza, Jamie has just put because reasons, and therefore you can't argue against that.
That's the reason for not doing it, isn't it?
That's how you win. You just say because of the reasons.
That's how you argue. I don't want it on there. Why don't you want it on there? Because reasons.
Earl D says he had a Donna meat pizza. It wasn't good. I refute that. Donna meat pizza was very good because pizza and Donna meat. Mm-hmm. The only things that you shouldn't eat is anything with a face that's looking at you, that can look at you with the face. Other than that, you should eat it. If there's still a face involved, then it's probably not something you want to eat.
It just goes to show, doesn't it? It takes all sorts.
Yes. All sorts on a pizza, probably not a good idea. But I'd probably still do it. No
Jelly babies, maybe.
No, worth a try.
Bob's Bobbington says, no, wait, I mean, yes, because he said never. And then I think we've got a conversion there.
Try it, half and half. Half pizza with pineapple, half without.
Anders Ericsson says, I wonder if pineapple pizza can be legit on a diet day. It's fruit. One of your 5 a day, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Fish finger and mashed
basically tomato as well, isn't it? So
yeah, if it's one of your 5 a day, do you have to eat it? I mean, if you get it served up and you pick it off and put it on the side of your plate, is that still classed as having a serving of one of your 5 a day?
Now, even more controversial, Andrew Leary says, thick crust pizza also wrong for the reasons. However, stuffed crust pizza. And if it's stuffed with a hot dog.
Yeah, stuffed crust pizza. It's cheese in stuffed crust pizza. Is it really cheese or is it just a rubber in a tube?
No, get the hot dog stuffed crust. Even it's just incredible because it's a pizza and a hot dog, but it's like a 3-foot long hot dog. It's fantastic. Also anchovies, of course, because
No.
yes.
No.
No. Little gentle protestation.
No.
Please note.
Look, I've had edible glue, and I still think anchovies would be a bad idea.
Yeah. It's the edible glue. Is the sugar in it kicking in now, Chris?
I don't was there sugar in it? I don't think it's sugar.
No, it sounded like everything but sugar was in there.
Pete Rogers is part of his 5 a day. Phil East says, yeah, the hot dog ones are awesome. And Andrew Lewis says, stop this, the dog is listening. Hot dogs, food.
Anders says, what name does pineapple pizza have in the UK? In Sweden, it's Hawaii pizza.
Yeah, it's Hawaii pizza.
Yeah, pretty much Hawaiian. Yeah.
Pizza Hawaiian, yep.
Now, I have to point out, just for no reason at all, but I think it's adorable that TK, who's in chat tonight, posted up a photograph to us in a private Facebook chat. TK's got a German Shepherd. And she's adorable, but she's a bit special. She's a bit special, is TK's dog. And he put a photograph up, and it's basically, he's got a potato in his hand, and he's holding it up to the camera, and his dog is sat there like this, look at the potato. Like he's holding up a piece of raw meat. And he's just like, yeah, my dog's an idiot. Yeah. The potato is like,
it's an Irish dog.
Yeah, he's got an Irish Shepherd. George Gabriel, here we go. Official statement. He said, Hawaiian, and he lives in Hawaii. As a Hawaiian, I would say that a true Hawaiian pizza should have spam on it, not Canadian bacon.
Spam
and Canadian bacon.
Spam.
I actually had bacon last night and forgot to put maple syrup on it to try it. Shucks.
We got to me. I've never tried that.
Model says his mad mutt loves mushrooms.
Mm.
My friend's dog used to eat light bulbs.
That's not right. Why would you feed a dog light bulb?
No, it wouldn't. What do you do? It would go in the cupboard.
How does it get to a light bulb? They're hanging out the ceiling.
No. What it would do? This dog was it was the stupidest. It was stupid but very clever. It would go into the cupboard. It would get a light bulb from the cupboard in a box. It would gently open the box, and the box would be perfectly unmarked. It would open the box, pull the light bulb out, eat the light bulb, and leave the box. You wouldn't know there's a dog done it. It was no tooth marks. It was
Did it not close the box back up again and put it back in the cupboard?
Not quite that clever. He kept coming home, finding an empty lump. But why are the bulb boxes everywhere? You realise the dog was eating the light bulbs.
No, it's a strange shape and it's poops.
Vincent says his German Shepherd says to TK, his German Pointer does the same thing as well. You actually have to be careful to put the potatoes away, or he steals them. And during peeling, we need to keep a close eye on the peels, or he'll try to eat them.
Was his German Pointer by Tamir by any chance?
It's an officer dog.
Officer, yeah.
It's the old joke, isn't it? For those who don't know, the old joke is, an officer in a Tamir figure set because the officer's always the one pointing.
Spam fritters. There's a childhood memory. Spam.
Yeah, Stephen Rolfe says, wonderful spam.
He also says, clever dog or fox. Yeah, I'd eat anything. My one rule, can't have a face. Other than that, it's fair game.
Not light bulbs, though.
I wouldn't eat light bulbs. It's got to be obviously something edible.
Dave Cardboard says, our dog used to eat the post or papers or anything else that arrived through the letterbox.
Yeah. Dogs are brilliant. Dogs are awesome.
Yeah, it was always good when you were a paper lad, wasn't it? You must have done it yourself. Just after Christmas, if you didn't get a tip off somebody and you knew they had a dog, you'd rattle on the door, then post the paper through the door.
And you post it through halfway, then put it out a little bit, then put it back through, put it out a little bit.
Yep. TK says we need to keep any human foods away from his dog or it gets eaten. Onions and all. Yeah, it's eating onions.
No. Dog eating onions. Not a good idea.
Yeah, there's a photograph TK sent us once, and it's basically his dog was lying on the sofa, and it was clearly using its back leg to scratch its ear, and just kind of got bored halfway through and just sat there with its back leg up round its ear like that. Bless, so adorable. Right, we're doing stickers and things.
I was going to say, should we give something
Is
away?
it sticker time?
It's kind of half 10, Ted.
Has anybody got any stickers?
It's nearly bedtime.
I can point.
It's nearly the next week.
I've got a big sticker in.
I've got some.
Oh, good. Glad you've got them because I've got them in use.
Got one as well.
Yeah, I've got that. I've got that one up there. Oh, that one down there. In use. Yeah, because you stick it. The big Mr. E sticker doesn't come like that. It'll come to you like that on a big sheet of white paper, but it actually peels off and it becomes like that.
Yeah, it's not. This is just a piece of paper. So you can see it.
Just a little white bit in the middle.
Yep. But this is a giveaway for both. You get one of each. We're just doing one sticker each time. So you get one of these and you get one of these. Same as before. The first person to get the question right in the chat wins the stickers. Remember to refresh and drag. So I'll give you a moment. Yeah. Remember as before that Joe, it's the person who appears on our chat, not your chat. Yeah, your chat, you just see yours instantly because it's literally you've just typed it. That's not how it works.
Yeah. We've got a couple of questions that have come into the emails e-bag.
Yay.
Emails e-bag. Yeah.
Tea-bag?
Yeah, I'm not very good at this, am I?
Maths is hard. I like shopping.
The emails, eModels, email bag. There. I need to write that down.
Yeah. Do you want to go out and come back in again, Ted?
It's top here. It's top to go. Right. We'll use Adam Clark's question because that's at the top of the list. Are we ready to go? You think we're ready to go?
No, it's still there.
Right. For two stickers. Big and small. Question tonight from Adam Clark. Good evening, gents. We mentioned before, as the Tornado is having its final ever flight this week before it's being retired, it started life as the MRCA. What does MRCA stand for? Go. Yep. It came out when it came out. It was a new MRCA. What's an MRCA?
Is it Mr. CA? Is it?
Yeah, Mr. CA.
Mr. CA. Yeah.
Maybe it's just short for America. Pew pew pew.
America.
I can't help myself.
There we are, Phil Kett. So come up with the first one. Phil Kett, multi-role combat aircraft. Well done, Phil.
Yep. Well done, Phil. So you've got yourself a couple of stickers. Email to ted@emodels.co.uk and say you won the big and the small sticker, and we'll get them sent out to you. Include your name and address, obviously.
Yeah.
Don't forget, of course, me and Ted do the postie out, but we don't often get to the post office because we both live hundreds of miles away from post offices. So we do it like once a month.
Yeah, we'll send a batch.
Doing other things to post out this week as well. So don't panic if you don't get your stickers or mugs or your stickers and stuff straight away because we just usually build them all up and then go once a month or something like that. So.
Plus we need to get paid and pay stamps and things like that. So
yeah. Matt Bradford said something and then retracted it, so I don't know what he said.
Cool. Yeah. I remember having an MRCA model as a kit. It's MRCA. I was thinking of something else here. It's like the Coast Guard. YMCA. HMCR.
HMRC? Customs. Don't talk to me about tax returns. I'm guessing Phil Lewis has massive astronomical lag because his answer's just come through. Oh dear. Dial up, is it, Phil? Ooh, not good. Should we do a mug?
Right, yeah, we'll do a mug.
Yes. Remember, we don't send the mugs out. Whoever wins this, we will send your details to the eModels and they will post it out to you. So we don't send these out. Yay!
Yeah. We've got another question in the eModels email bag. Right that time. And this one's from Tronchard, who's with, I think he's with us in the chat tonight.
He was, and then he had to go. His
right.
Came in. So
yeah. Oh, don't tell him his question got read out.
Okay.
Right. Hello, L Ted.
Ted.
Hello, L Ted. Trot and Charge here, and I have a question for tonight's eModels giveaway. The question is, what was the name of the Red Baron's dog? Go. Manfred von Richthofen. What was the name of his dog? Remember, we don't look these up. We don't Google them. We don't check them. We just
Stephen Last said a little while ago, said apparently RMCA also means the most recent common ancestor. Thanks, Google.
There's a lot of answers coming in.
Yeah, we've got Wolf, Bruno, Snoopy, Nigel, Frank, Snoopy Gafarton,
Snoopy Gafarton.
Bed, Darren, Bono, Rex, Fido,
Moritz
from Spitty
QA. Yeah.
Spid's in with the mug.
Yay.
Dog was apparently called Moritz. I was going to say you'd have to be a saint to get it right if nobody got it.
Lag. Phil Lewis says lag.
Lag. Chat it, you lag.
He's only just got that bit. But... not
Phil Lewis has got the built internet.
Stephen Rolfe said there should be an award for the most inept rubbish answers, so he's got a chance.
Yeah, but everybody just put the most inept rubbish answers.
Yeah. Next week we'll give you an answer, and you have to give us a question.
Wait, what is it? Jeopardy? So, Spid, send us an email, ted@emodels.co.uk, name and address. I know we've got it anyway, but send us an email so it reminds us, because we'll forward it on to the guys.
Yeah, we'll forward it on to the guys. And you'll get yourself in the post when they get them, when they arrive. I think there's something. The eModels Scale Enthusiasts mug.
They haven't told us that they've run out again, have they? So
they haven't told. No, I think they're still in stock, so they haven't said that there's none left. So.
Spiddy Curator says, how can it be called Lag? That's a silly dog name.
It's all right. I've heard worse.
Because he said lag. Matt Bradford says, let's have some space 1999 questions. That's only when we're desperate for questions and I have to pull something out of the top of my head, he says, being careful and polite.
TK says, for nothing at all, what's the name of my pet rabbit?
Knowing TK, yeah, it is after,
like, you know, Viking.
Is it an English word or is it
a killer rabbit?
Ragnarsson the Destroyer or something.
Destroyer of Worlds.
TK's Spitty Creator says he's just called TK's Rabbit. Onions.
Matt Bradford says, I want a mug. Is that the name of TK's Rabbit? If you do want a mug, you can get one and just buy one with the money from eModels. You don't have to
with the money.
Yeah. At cost price as well. They don't charge extra for a mug.
I like the way he said that, buy one with the money. I like that.
You need to use the money. You can't use someone
to you the money. Vincent says it's called Stampertia. Ragnar the Destroyer of Lettuce. Dinner. Rabbit of Care Banog. Rabbit face.
Is it the same rabbit that appeared in Monty Python?
Killer rabbit. Dangerous one with the fangs and the.
TK says it's a very well-known name internationally. Thatcher.
Brian.
Madonna or something. Or
Madonna.
Donald.
I don't think we're going to get it. We might need a hint.
Luke Diggler. I don't
know. Max. TK Max.
Says Trump.
Big pointy teeth.
Digger Evans, Bugs Bunny. Yeah.
Now Vincent says yes, Thumper, which is Stampertia in Dutch. Now I saw him type Stampertia and I thought, is that Thumper in Dutch? I'm dead clever. I figured out a Dutch word without knowing what it really meant. Vincent, I'm brilliant. I can now become a national.
Hint, rock and roll.
Elvis the Rabbit, that'd be cool. Wait, hang on. No, TK likes death metal weird nonsense, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he said rock and roll. He didn't say death metal weird nonsense.
It can be called like Slayer or
Bill Haley
or something. Think of death metal.
Elvis.
Weird.
Yeah, it's Elvis.
Elvis Bunny.
Elvis the Rabbit.
Elvis the Rabbit. Yes.
Don't know. We're really putting Elvis in rock and roll. Does it really work that way?
Yeah, he started rock and roll, didn't he? He's
sort of no, I don't think he started rock and roll.
Making it a big mainstream popular thing.
Okay, we'll let him on.
Sort of credit for that.
It's more like soft rock and roll, I think.
So it's called Elvis.
Elvis the Rabbit.
Good. Yeah. Hi to Elvis. Send us a picture. Let's have a look at Elvis.
Elvis.
Does he wear the suit, the white?
My sister actually used to work at Gracelands as an official historian of the jumpsuits. That was her job.
The jumpsuit.
Her job was to maintain and also source Elvis's jumpsuits from wherever they might be. You know, because you're all around the world, people had them, collectors, and her job was to find them, collect them, buy them, source them, and then kind of archive them. She hated it. She hated the place completely. She said they were all horrible.
TK says he's got huge rabbit hair. So Elvis, are you sure that's not his ears?
Yeah. Oh.
Elvis has left the hutch.
We're going to eat this carrot now. Thank you.
Also known as the king of rock and roll, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Matt Bradford, you don't need to go anywhere yet, Matt Bradford, because you might want to stick around for the next 5 or 10 minutes, just because.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. We're going to give something away, Ted.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Matt Bradford, don't you go anywhere.
Yeah, well, I'll look it on me for a change. Yeah, tonight's the night we're giving something away.
Yay.
Hey.
Yeah, I bet Matt Bradford's already gone.
Yeah, probably.
He'll kick himself.
Yeah, so we're going to give something away, and when I can find how to lock it on me and find the right picture, I'll show you what we're going to give away. Hang on. There we go.
This is going to be a comment in the thing. It's not a live one, so anyone with lag, you don't need to worry too much tonight.
Yeah. This will be that you'll have the week to enter. It's not going to be in chat.
Yeah. So what we're going to give away, I'll screen share and share that, and then you can see that. And we're giving this away. It's the Revell Level 4. Oh, that's not what it's called. It's called the
Dallas, Ted. Dallas.
We're giving away the Revell Howenboo 2. Howenboo flying saucer.
Howenboo.
Howenboo. Whatever it is, we're giving that away.
Yeah.
Spid's upset that it's not the nose.
No. Osric says, I want that. Now, we did have a conversation earlier. If you remember, this kit came out last year, and then the entire internet exploded, and it got withdrawn. And then seemingly it got re-released again, but we don't quite, because it was banned in Germany for breaching their law against using Nazi stuff and all that kind of stuff. And then it got re-released again. So we were trying to remember what the hell they've changed to get it re-released. We can't quite figure it out. We think originally it was banned because it suggested on the artwork on the box that it was a real vehicle and not a fictional vehicle. But we don't know. So we can't remember why it was recalled and then what they've changed in it to re-release it. They've obviously changed something.
It does say, it'll go down a little bit. It does say in the description that it was an aircraft that work began in 1934. Whether that's right or wrong.
That was the original text.
Yeah, I think they haven't updated the new text on the eModels site.
Yeah, I think that's possibly what got it banned, was it suggested a real vehicle.
Yeah, the sort of display, sort of telling you there that it's a real thing. So
but the funny thing is that when it got banned, people were selling these on eBay for like hundreds of pounds, and yet within about 2 months, it just got re-released. So you don't have to go and buy one on eBay for 200 quid. We're going to give you one for free.
Yeah, people are still upset that it's not the nose. No, Paul Horner says, given a choice, I'd pick the nose.
Oh, really? If we'd known that, the nose.
Mark says to Spid, they're not giving away a nose, so it gives you the chance to pick your own.
These guys have got all the humour in this in here.
Dicker Evans says the original had a swastika on it, the decal marking, which got banned in Germany. That probably is it. I can't remember if it had a swastika or the Kreuz. Is it the not Rosenkreuz? What's it called? The
cross.
The things that are on it now.
Yeah, the thingy Kreuz.
Dave Cardboard says that needs Hello Kitty camo.
Oh God, yes, yes, do it. Dave Cardboard, if you win this, you are painting it pink, and you're gonna have to go and get a like Hello Kitty nail art.
Yeah, Hello Kitty stickers are available.
Yes. So yes, if you want to win this, what do we have to do, Ted? We'll come up with something for.
Yeah, you've got to comment under the video when it goes live on the YouTubes. When it later on, when it's processed and done everything else, it will go live on the YouTubes after we've finished. And you need to leave a comment underneath. Just comment, space comment.
Yeah. Comment about space.
Comment about space, whether it be a joke, whether it be a fact, whether it be an astronaut joke or anything like that. Yeah, just comment underneath. So,
it's typically about 5 minutes after the show finishes. It just becomes like Ted said, it becomes a normal video on the YouTube channel. So make sure you go to the eModels homepage, YouTube homepage, and find tonight's show. It'll have the date in the title, so you can't miss it. and just put your comment about the space.
Yeah.
If you can make it funny and hilarious, that's even better. Won't make you win anymore, but it means we might read your comments out next week.
Yeah. When we come on next week, we'll remind you, so you can go and comment then if you do forget.
Yeah. What usually happens is that we get 5 comments and then we mention it next week at the start of the show, and everybody goes and adds a comment.
We do it this way because we know that people can't always get in live on the Monday night, and they watch it later on catch up, or they're in a different time zone or anything like that. So,
but it is an advantage to be in the show live, because eModels don't post up on the Facebook page after the show saying there's a giveaway. So ideally, you want to watch live
to see whether there is or there isn't.
Yeah.
Digger Evans asks underneath what? It's underneath the video itself. When it's a normal video on YouTube, underneath
comments.
Add your comment or whatever it's. I can't remember exactly the wording of it, but it will say add a comment, and that's where you need to add your comment.
Yeah, every live stream becomes a normal video once it's finished. So then you can go into a normal YouTube comment. Although we normally recommend not going to the comment section on YouTube because it's just a cesspit of evil and hatred. But on eModels videos, it's pretty good.
Paul Horner says, before I enter, how many decals has it got?
All of them?
Yeah, at least 160. You'll be fine.
Yeah, knowing Ravel, he'll have an A4 sheet full of them. Tiny ones, very tiny ones.
Yeah, all important.
And if you miss one, somebody will notice. So that's what
Vincent says about the fact that people were selling it on eBay for hundreds of pounds. Says, I never got why people sold that for so much. Squadron Models has theirs out for years, ever since the movie Iron Sky came out, and theirs is based on that movie. It's because some people are idiots, and they will go online and buy something for hundreds of dollars because they think it's been cancelled or it's rare. And this is why it's kind of, in a Schadenfreude kind of way, it's kind of funny that people bought this kit for hundreds and hundreds of pounds when it got first cancelled, despite the fact that they're kind of going to re-release it. They're not going to spend all this money making a kit or getting the licensing to rebox a kit and then just say, okay, we won't bother now then. Of course they're going to change it.
You'll come across those guys in the pub who'll say, look, I got this kit for 150 quid off eBay.
It's banned and it's cancelled.
Well, I got this one off eModels for 14 quid.
Yeah. It's the fact that there's nothing wrong with the people selling it for that money because they know there's idiots out there that will buy them.
It's the same as when there's new technology released or whatever, and there's a waiting list for it and pre-orders and things. Yeah. And the day it comes out, you'll see them on eBay at 4 times the price, and people will buy them.
It's the same reason
you pre-order it with everybody else.
It's the same reason that when the very first original Xbox came out, way back in 2001, somebody went on eBay and they sold an original Xbox box. And this is in the days when it first came out, there were shortages, so people were paying hundreds and hundreds and like $1,000 for one on eBay because they'd buy 3 and they'd sell off the other 2. And this guy spent $1,500 for this Xbox on eBay because they were out of stock. And when he got it, he realized he hadn't read the description properly. It was an Xbox box. It was the box the Xbox came in, but not the Xbox. It was just the packaging materials. He spent $1,500. And he sued the guy that sold it, and the court said, it says it's a box. You paid $1,500 for it in an auction. Tough.
It's your own fault.
Yep. And it's because people like that, because they haven't got the patience to wait. And any of us would know if a kit got cancelled like that, we'd know they'd do something. They'd make some changes and bring it back out again, because no company's going to spend tens or hundreds of thousands of pounds designing and building a kit and then just pull it.
And now, boys and girls, that's a good reason why you shouldn't go on eBay whilst drunk.
Yes. My friend once sold a haunted beer can on eBay and got 35 quid for it. So, yeah, unless you're selling something, don't go on eBay when you're drunk.
Well, it's about wind-up time.
Well, yeah.
It's come round to that. It's come round so quickly. We've had a great night tonight, and we didn't mention TV, 80s TV or sweets once.
Don't do it now. We'll be here for another half hour.
Well, I think we mentioned it once, but I think we got away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm really hungry now, though. All this food. I didn't have any tea, and I'm starving.
I've got a smell of cooking bacon in the background somewhere.
I may have just remembered that McDonald's is open 24 hours around here. Oh, that's a bad thing to remember. Oh,
because your car works now as well.
I know, my car works and everything, and that's a really bad thing to remember. Oh,
yeah.
I'm trying to trim down. It's not going to help me, is it?
Yeah, just nip out in the kebab in the car now to the kebab shop.
No, it's my local kebab shop that's literally like round the corner from my house seems to have just closed. They changed ownership and closed within 2 days. And I'm like, oh no, my lifeline. Sadness.
Anyway, on that note about
You
food,
send your kebabs too.
yeah, you know my address. Please send all kebabs and other eatable things and presents.
Make sure they're well packed though, because
Yeah,
if they're just in an envelope, that would no.
Yeah, pack them in a cooler box so they stay hot. Just mark it emergency kebabs, like emergency human organ transplant, but it'll get here on like within an hour.
Michael Jackman says, "That's your PC, Ted." I know, because he had some PC problems, and it smells like bacon.
could be. Right, I better go turn it off and get the fire extinguisher. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for joining in. It's been a great night. It's been a great chat. We'll hope to see you all next week. So don't forget, wait till the video renders, and then you can leave a comment underneath. Yeah. We'll see you all next week. Okay, everybody. Bye now.
Adios,
Bye.
amigos.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ooh, I'm starving.